billionaire, billionaire. You're on your way. You're going to be billionaire, billionaire. You know, it's more likely than not, it's going to get embedded in my mind, in my subconscious, and the actions that I live throughout on a daily basis will lead me on the pathway to becoming a billionaire, is your mind. You're sitting in a comfortable chair in the movie theater. Now they have these luxury recliners, leather, whatever. You're eating your popcorn and you're drinking your whatever you're drinking. That's your reality, but your mind's reality is in the movie. Why do I say this? Because the projector in this analogy is your mind, right? The projector that's shooting out the film. If you're scrolling on valuable information, let's say, for example, you know, my feed is full of AI prompts now. There's people showing tutorials on how they built the latest whatever using Grok 3, okay? That type of scrolling, valuable, because you take that information and you apply it. That's the exception to the rule. But if you're just social scrolling, finding memes and watching celebrities and all that, Yo, what's up, everybody? This is the End-to-End Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Yun Win, also known as Ninja, Prolific Ninja by my family and friends, and because my fans are my friends, you can call me Ninja too. This is the End-to-End Podcast, the alpha to the omega, the beginning to the end, talking about life, motivation, drive, success, self-improvement, and offering you morsels in this all-you-can-eat buffet called life. Great to be back in the studio. We are coming up on our 3-year live broadcast anniversary. You know, we've done 3 years consistently straight. It's kind of funny because I ran into a good buddy of mine at the gym this morning, and he's like, "Man, how's the podcast going?" I said, "Man, we're still putting it out there every week on a consistent basis." And that was our basis when we started in, you know, several years back, and then in 2023, where we said consistency is key in 2023. Well, we've been consistent all the way through 3 years. I'm so happy. But before we get into the show, I'm going to start this podcast as I've started every podcast prior to this, and as I start every day, which is when I wake up in the morning. I thank God and the universe for an opportunity to hopefully inspire somebody to live their fullest controllable potential and to fulfill my obligation with the gifts and talents that I have to be the best that I can be. And so with that, I want to thank you all out there for 3 years almost straight of support. You know, we can't grow this show without your participation and without you sharing and listening, commenting, liking, and following. And so with that, I want to thank you all. And so the reason we grow is we don't have any sponsorships. I do this on my own dime, on my own time, write the checks, have a crew here that gets this content out to you for free. The reason we can grow is if you do your part. And so we do this on a very metaphysical, astrophysical, karmic exchange, which is I give you good information. Hopefully you find value. And instead of owing me a debt of karmic energy, just share the show. And that's how we rebalance the scales. And so we all grow together. Other than that, you can also support the show by supporting all the projects that I'm working on. CuraConnector.com. We're going to be out at the HIMSS National Conference, the Health Information Management Society Conference, in Las Vegas next week, next week. So support us out there if you're in Las Vegas, or support us by going to the website, CuraConnector.com. You can also go to LegacyXToken.com. We're going to be at the Bitcoin conference in May in Las Vegas, coincidentally. So support us out there, and most importantly, support PFASinjuryAttorney.com. We've launched a national campaign on helping cancer clients who have been affected by PFAS, the forever chemical in the water. So if you know anybody affected by cancer, please reach out to us. We want to help them at no cost. Right now, we're approaching, 500 clients that we're helping that have cancer that we believe is caused by chemicals in the water. So you can support the show by sharing it or supporting my projects. And so the value exchange is, I like to say, if you're knowledge swole, share the show. That's how we grow. I want to spend this episode to talk about the most important muscle or organ in your body. You know, I work out every day. I lift every day. I've been lifting, since I was 16 years old. And, it's a lifelong passion and a lifelong commitment. But the muscle that is the most important that we can't visibly see grow is right up here. It's in your head. I've always believed your mind is the most powerful muscle, and it can control anything. Okay? Your mind does not know the difference between the real physical, tangible world and the viewing world that you see in your mind's eye. It cannot tell the difference because the energy waves are the same. The physical manifestations in your mind of the physical world is just sensory inputs from all your five senses, right? Touch, taste, smell, hearing. What's the last one? Seeing, right? That's the inputs in your mind. But your mind cannot distinguish that between what you see in your mind, because ultimately it's all energy, frequency, and waves. So if I say apple, you're going to think of an apple, but there's no apple around here on my table, and there's probably not an apple in front of you, right? If I say beach, your mind's going to see a beach, even though you're probably at work or in your car or wherever. Because your visual interpretation in your mind's eye is what really matters. And why does that matter? Okay, why does that internal visualization in your mind, the strongest muscle in your body, matter? Because what you visualize in your mind, you ultimately will project into your reality. Okay, so if I said apple, or somebody said apple, just over and over again, once an hour or whatever, you're going to start thinking about an apple, and it's more likely than not your subconscious is going to say, hey, let's go get an apple. And then the real world, the physical world, you'll have an apple. You'll go get an apple, right? And that's how it works in the process of success. What you visualize in your mind's eye, you can project over time into your reality as you constantly visualize that in your subconscious. It drills into your subconscious. It's like this shirt I'm wearing. It says billionaire in the making. Am I a billionaire? No. But if I constantly, in my mind's eye, billionaire, you're on your way, you're going to be billionaire, it's more likely than not, it's going to get embedded in my mind, in my subconscious, and the actions that I live throughout on a daily basis will lead me on the pathway to becoming a billionaire. Right? It reminds me like going to the theater. Okay, so with modern age technology, and I don't know if theaters work this way or not still, but back in the day, in our classrooms, we would watch. We didn't have the TVs. This is way back in. I'm Gen X, which is the greatest generation ever. But back in the day, we would watch film in school, and it wouldn't be iPads or a digital television. It was a film projector with two reels. Go look it up if you're, Gen Z or younger, or how does that work? Gen Z or younger, yeah. It used to be a projector. So my teacher would get it's a cylinder, open it up. There would be a reel of film, plastic film. She would load it on the feeder end of this projector. It had two prongs coming out, run it through the projector, and wrap it into the receiving reel and turn it on. And so the receiving reel would spin on a motor, and it would pull the film through, and there would be a light source projecting out onto a white screen. And that's how we would watch nature films, for example. And so that reminds me, and it's the same thing in the theater, I believe now still, where if you sit in the center row, and the theater camera is behind you, the little glass window on the booth or the room up top, and it projects out the movie to the big screen out front, right? If you sit right underneath the bottom and you look up, you will see the light source projecting out, okay? And you can see the dust floating in between, but the light source is shooting through the plastic film, and it's projecting the image onto the big screen, okay? Why do I say this? Because the projector in this analogy is your mind, right? The projector that's shooting out the film is in your mind, okay? The film is what your mind's eye is visualizing. And on the screen, for that momentary time, is your reality. You're sitting in a comfortable chair in the movie theater. Now they have these luxury recliners, leather, whatever. You're eating your popcorn and you're drinking your whatever you're drinking. That's your reality, but your mind's reality is in the movie, right? Same thing in the classroom. I'm sitting at my desk as, I don't know, third grader, however old they are these days, 10 years old, whatever it is, watching, a movie on, the jungles of South America. I'm in the classroom, sitting at my desk, surrounded by other students, but in that moment, my mind is taken to the jungles of South America, right? And that's how it works in the real world of entrepreneurship. You have to practice visualizing and training your brain, which is your most important muscle, to visualize these things in your mind's view. Because your mind does not distinguish the physical world from what you see in your head. And so when you're looking at your goals, when you're looking at where you want to become, who you want to be in that role of success, wherever it is, CEO of a company, technology executive, entrepreneur owning multiple businesses, sitting in your McLaren or Ferrari or Lambo, sitting in your mansion, whatever that is, you have to visualize it to detail in your mind's eye over and over and over and over again, such that visualization gets embedded in your subconscious. And then once it's there, your daily actions and decisions will change, leading you to that visualization that you put in your head. That's how it works. Over and over. Now here's the problem. This cell phone, your gossip, your friends, your drinking, your day drinking on Sunday brunch, all these things, those will distract you from generating that image in your head. When you're scrolling on your phone, all you're doing is putting other images into your brain, not your image of where you want to be. That mind's eye view, that third eye view in your head is when you're scrolling, all you're doing is just getting inputs on a reality that doesn't even apply to you. Right? That inbound projection will not get you to where you want to be. Now there is a caveat, just like there's an exception to every rule. If you're scrolling on valuable information, let's say for example, my feed is full of AI prompts now, because that's what I'm interested in, quantum computing, all that stuff, right? So I'm scrolling, there's people showing tutorials on how they built the latest whatever using Grok 3. And if you don't know what that is, you're kind of late to the technology game. Okay? That type of scrolling, valuable, because you take that information and you apply it. Remember, like the last couple podcasts ago, you got to apply it. There's a theory, application, reality, okay? So if you're scrolling on good information and applying it, yes, that's the exception to the rule. But if you're just social scrolling, finding memes and, watching celebrities and all that, not it. Not it. You got to detach and start visualizing your own dreams in your own head over and over and over again. Take time. That's why I cherish my gym time in the morning so much. I try not to get distracted on my phone because I'm lifting, yes, but in my mind, I'm visualizing my day, visualizing what actions I need to take to get me to become a billionaire in the making. That's how I operate, but that's what works. That's how most successful people that I've spoken with operate. They're constantly visualizing what's next, what do I need to do, what can I take here, what is the next product, they're constantly over and over and over again. So train yourself, train the most important muscle, which is your brain, to visualize your path. Visualize you at the destination of all your goals if all your dreams came true. But constantly visualize, because again, your brain cannot distinguish the physical, tangible world from what it actually sees in that mind's eye. It's the same thing. Cannot distinguish. Okay? Because ultimately it's electrical inputs and outputs, signals and frequencies. That's what it is. To the quantum atom. And I'm a doctor, so I know these things. Okay? I've studied how neurons work. It's electrical signals. It's ions, charges moving back and forth really rapidly down, your neural entanglements. That's how it works. Okay? So, spring break, March coming up. Everybody be careful. Take some time to detach from electronics. Learn to visualize, learn to train the most important muscle in your body that you cannot see grow, but you will see the effects of its growth. That is your brain. Glad to be back in the studio. Glad to bring this episode to you again. Please support the show. Support the show by sharing the show. Don't owe me that karmic debt. If you're knowledge swole in this episode or any other episode, please do share the show. If you're knowledge swole, share the show. That is how we together grow. And also visit CureConnector.com. We're at HIMSS in Las Vegas next week. LegacyXToken.com. Get ready because at the Bitcoin conference, there'll be some good announcements. And then finally, PFASinjuryAttorney.com. Check us out. If you know anybody with cancer, anyone, please refer them to the website. Send us their information. We want to reach out to them for free because this is the toxic environmental litigation of the century, worth trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. In fact, if you wear an Apple smartwatch, they got sued because their band is made with PFAS. Okay? If you wear a certain type of Samsung watch, same thing, they got sued because of their band full of PFAS. Companies are getting sued left and right. If you're a hunter and you wear Gore-Tex, Gore-Tex got sued by the state of Maryland because their products, the waterproof products, have PFAS. So this is the litigation of the century. Please do reach out to us. Please support the show. With that, I'm going to end the episode as I end every day. Before my head hits the pillow, close my eyes. I thank God and the universe for another day to be great. Hopefully I've inspired just one person that keeps me going. And with that, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Looking forward to bringing another episode very, very soon.